Hi, guys.
Hello, guys.
It's me. Good morning.
It's me too. Good morning.
Hi, guys. We are going to talk to you today about following others' diets. So, basically, I wanted to talk about it because this is something that I struggled with, and Kyle struggled with it as well. Is when we first started, even every once in a while, when we first started losing weight, and occasionally you'll see a picture of somebody. We look up to a lot of male and female bodybuilders in the fitness industry,
And we have since we were young, teenagers.
really young. Yep. And occasionally, especially when I'm really struggling, because now that we're down very close to our goal weights, it's a lot harder to keep in. It's very hard to lose weight and build muscle at the same time. So when we are struggling, sometimes I'll look at somebody, or I'll look at a diet and I'll say, oh, this person is clearly got it nailed. They understand what they're doing. This is what they eat. Maybe if I eat like that, I can look like that. And in reality, that's not the case. Most of the time, we have to remember, and I have to remind myself this as well, pretty much all of the pictures that you see everywhere in the media, on the internet, they've all been edited. It doesn't mean that the person doesn't have that body, or that they don't work very hard and diet hard to get like that. It just means that it's not always the exact image of what that person looks like all the time.
They don't wake up in the morning looking like that.
No, and if you meet them, they may look nothing like that. Most of the time, you're seeing pictures of bodybuilders right before a competition or just after. So you're seeing them at their most ripped, and generally when they're dehydrated, so that you can see all of their muscles and veins. Also, a lot of editing is done to enhance the shadows in the biceps and in the body to make them look even more muscular than they may be at that moment. I'm not saying that they don't look like that. I'm just saying try to check yourself when you're comparing yourself and beating yourself up for not looking like that. Most of the time, you're not seeing a 100% true image of what that person actually looks like. Those bodybuilders, they still work incredibly hard and diet hard, but the pictures are often edited. So anyway, when you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to now do this diet, remember that every body and every mind is different. So if I were to compare myself to a female bodybuilder and say I want to do that person's diet, they may handle certain things better than me. So if their diet is high in carbs, I know I'm a carb sensitive person. So if I try to do that diet, I'm going to put on weight, where they may be losing weight on that amount of carbs. Or they're eating, sometimes I'll look into magazines and I'll see a diet with a female bodybuilder that's incredibly muscular, and I'll look at the diet and I'll say, this is a really small amount of food for somebody with that much muscle. So sometimes just because they say that they eat that way, it doesn't necessarily mean that they do. Sorry if you hear Hank in the background, he's playing. Just remember, even the way that Kyle and I show you that we eat, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you, because you might have a different body. You do have a different body, and you will think differently than me. There are a lot of people out there that I see that sometimes I wish I could be like them, because hi Bubba, because they can do if it fits your macros, no problem. However, Kyle and I, being emotional eaters, we've tried if it fits your macros. We've tried a lot of the diets out there that are popular, tested them out, but most of them don't work for us, especially if it fits your macros, because you generally don't need a treat day. You're supposed to eat
a little bit
healthy
every day,
and then you can fit a treat into your macros. But for us, that's too restrictive.
Our brains don't operate that way. We're more of the type, when we want a treat or we want a piece of pizza, we don't just want one slice or half a slice. We want the whole pizza.
Or three or four slices.
The way that works for us that we've found is we prefer to eat very clean 6 days a week, and on the 7th day we have a party.
And there are a lot of bodybuilders that would rather just do if it fits your macros.
And yeah, whatever works for that person, right?
There are some that do the same as us. There are some that prefer to eat clean for 2 weeks and then allow themselves a full treat day. What we do is we're constantly tweaking our diet during the week so that we can still gain muscle, still lose weight, and change our bodies, and still enjoy one day a week where we can eat whatever we want. It's not easy to do, but this is how we prefer to do it.
And another thing, it never stays the same for us. Like we were just talking about how we constantly have to change our diet. So you may see us eating, like we may post a lot of cheat day videos, but we don't eat like that all the time. That's once a week. It might just happen to fall, like we post a couple in a week, or
right.
But we're still figuring out our bodies too. Like we may make up a plan for ourselves for a couple weeks and then need to tweak it.
Yeah, for instance, like I'll lose weight for a couple of weeks and then it will stop. So then I will have to change up how many carbs, fat, protein that I eat in a week, in a day, to continue losing weight.
So yeah,
it's
like
a constant battle, especially when you want to, like I said before, lose fat and build muscle. It's incredibly hard to do.
Nothing is set in stone. Like when I was 13, 14 reading the bodybuilder magazines, I would years later beat myself up and go back to that 5-year-old magazine and still try to eat that exact same way and then say, oh, why can't I stick to this diet?
And beat yourself up because you don't look like that person.
Yeah.
I used to do the same thing. In reality, everybody's body works differently. Everyone thinks differently. If you're an emotional eater, it might be very hard to do if it fits your macros. Or you might be able to do if it fits your macros, no problem. Or you might just be able, some bodybuilders eat whatever they want, whenever they want, and they are completely ripped with no body fat.
Yeah, they have a fast metabolism. Right?
That it doesn't work for me. I have to keep my carbs fairly low, my protein pretty high, and my fat medium, just in order to continue doing what I'm doing, which is I'll maintain for a few weeks and then I'll drop for a couple of weeks, but my body is always changing. My muscles continue to get more defined. My clothes continue to get bigger. My body fat is coming off a lot slower now, but that is because I'm a lot closer to my goal. I don't have very much fat left to lose, so that's why it makes it harder. And that's the other thing. If you have a lot of fat to lose and you're looking at somebody who's in competition mode that only has 5 pounds to lose or something, that diet is going to look completely different from what a diet for you should be like. And you know, even when you pay somebody, or down the road we're going to do custom meal plans, those are still just a guide. You can follow them 100%, but they're still going to need to be tweaked.
They're blueprints to get you started.
Yes,
basically.
They're great guides. And you can still take diets and stuff that you see in magazines or whatever, but just know that if you're going to compare yourself to it and you're going to follow it exactly, it 100% of the time is not going, I would say, 95 to 100% of the time, it's not going to work exactly for you the way it does for someone else.
Or it may work for a short time, but not be sustainable.
And that's the other thing. It might work for you amazing for a little bit, and then it will stop. So just know that any diet, no matter what, it may work. It probably will work at first, just because it's a different change that you've introduced into your body, and the body does not like change. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be like that forever. So just know, no matter what, you're always going to have to eat for your body.
And follow your own instinct.
Follow your own instincts. So if you're following a plan and you think this is too much food, then it might be too much food for you. Or if you think this is not enough food, then that might be the case.
Don't just blindly follow diets, because we've done it in the past.
I've done it constantly.
We've been working out hard and feeling like we're going to pass out, but we're like, no, we have to stick to this diet. That's what it says. That's how many macros it says.
Yep, and then we realized that we were starving and under eating. And then there are times where we saw diets and we thought, okay, we should increase our carbs. But because we're carb sensitive, increasing our carbs caused us to gain body fat. So then we had to tweak the diet so that we would drop that body fat and continue seeing changes and results. So the bottom line is, don't beat yourself up because you don't look like someone else. You are you, and you need to eat the way that your body is meant to, and you need to eat to help your mind as well. Because for us, like we said, eating really clean and having one day where we reward ourselves with treats works for us. You might not be able to do that. You might want something every day, and so then you would have to work it in a small balanced portion. You might want a couple of treat days, so then your meal plan would look a lot differently from ours. So just try not to beat yourself up. Go with your body. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you how hungry you are, when you're hungry, and how much it needs.
And you
just have to listen to it.
Yeah, there's a lot of great advice out on the internet, but
yes, there is.
Just don't follow it. If you know inside it's not working for you, don't try to force yourself to follow anybody else's plan. Listen to your own body.
Good point. And the other thing is, don't do what I did. Don't fall into the trap of you see something and this is it. This is the savior of your life. This is going to make you small and fit, and life is going to be perfect.
And it's going to be the same from now until the end of time.
Yeah, and you're never going to have to change it. I have fallen into that trap over and over again for most of my life. It's a constant changing process. Kyle and I, like we said, we're constantly changing. We're constantly changing up our workouts, our diets. We're changing the way that we think about food, the way we're letting go of guilt. We're trying new foods. Sometimes we go higher carbs, sometimes lower.
We're always learning, and we found that as soon as we kind of let go of other people's ideas and followed ours more closely and listen to ourselves more, we've had more success.
We always have more success when we let go. And every once in a while I'll fall back in again to a trap, and I'll try a diet that is totally not meant for my body. But I realize it a lot quicker now that it's not for me, that my body is telling me what I need. I just need to listen to it. So keep up your positive attitude, guys. Remember that there is absolutely tons of good advice out there. There are tons of people that work really hard for their bodies and diet really hard and do look amazing. And you can get there too. You just have to trust your instincts and your body, and use the other stuff. Use it, but use it as a guide, and know that there is not one set diet that you can do for the rest of your life that's going to make you perfect. You're going to constantly have to change your diet, your workouts, and your attitude, and the way you look at certain foods. So it's a constant changing progress and process, and we're right along there with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Well, thank you guys so much. It's your support that keeps inspiring us and keeps us going and keeps making us excited to make videos for you. So thank you so much. We hope that you learn stuff from us and that you're inspired by us just as much as we are inspired by you. We hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or else. Bye.
Bye, guys. Bye, Hank.
Say bye. Bye, friends.